On the morning of the 22nd of May, the residents of Gate 7 settlement blocked Fort Trekker Road for over 5 hours. The community came together and was led by a group of powerful women. The demands were simple: toilets, water, electricity, now. Basic demands that the government has a responsibility to provide, regardless of the status or ownership of the land. The roadblock protest was peaceful throughout. The action was organized after 5 years of making the same demands and hearing the same empty promises from various politicians and authorities. The city has shirked all responsibility for the community, claiming that they are illegally occupying Ndabeni Trust land. However, the city can fast-track the process of release for the land. On the 9th of May, the residents sent a letter of demand to the mayor and ward councillor. On the 14th of May, residents in Gate 7 reported harassment from law enforcement threatening to demolish their shacks. This was repeated 2 days later, with individuals claiming the officers even spurred sexual assault threats at them. The law enforcement team said they were sent by the city of Cape Town and the ward councillor. In the letter of demands, the community gave the city 7 days to respond, with an end note that failure to respond will reinforce the perception of the government's deliberate negligence and disregard for the well-being of its citizens. Utmost disregard for the residents of Gate 7 became glaringly apparent during the events on Wednesday morning. The police officer referred to the community with vile, anti-black, anti-poor, racist language. Even the ward council engaged in bad faith from the start, approaching the representatives with a scowl and commenting that "Dit is nie ons mense nie." The use of the K-word slur was thrown around by officers, and the evidence collected time and time again scoffed that Xhosa people are on coloured land. The representatives blocked the road for 2 hours after the ward councillor came for an offer to meet in his office. They demanded they meet him in the community and only conceded once he agreed to have all 18 representatives attend the meeting. The road was unblocked because the community decided to let the traffic flow, not because they succumbed to police threats. The meeting was attended by the ward councillor, representatives of the Metro Police, Traffic Services, the Provincial Department of Sanitation, the Ratepayers Association, and the Kensington Community Police Forum. During the meeting, the Gate 7 committee asserted their constitutional right to dignity and explained that the right of a property owner does not trump their foundational rights to water, sanitation, and safety. All else needed to exist in dignity. While the Gate 7 community has repeatedly attempted to assert these rights, the presence of cameras and recording devices in the room ensured that the ward councillor could not approach the issue with the same level of hostility and dismissiveness to which the community is so accustomed. He was instead forced to begrudgingly promise that the community would be provided the temporary portable toilets and would be serviced weekly by a truck with a water tanker. He, however, refused to commit to installing a water pump or any permanent infrastructure on the land on the basis that it was private property. Furthermore, responsibility was continually bounced around between representatives, and inevitably blame was shifted to the community, framed as rowdy protesters, and threatened with more violent responses if they protested again. No representatives from the city were able to provide any response to questions from the Gate 7 community when pushed to explain why all the communities which surround Gate 7, even those which are on the same privately owned land, have access to a water pump, and yet the residents of Gate 7 specifically do not. Grievances pertaining to unlawful eviction and police harassment also went unresolved. The council continually denied any engagement with law enforcement, and senior representatives from the Metro Police offered no more clarity as to whose orders the police were following when harassing the community in the nighttime invasions the week before. The Gate 7 protest is symptoms of structural inequality and violence. When it comes to basic services and housing, spatial inequality, and access to convoluted bureaucratic and political systems. There is no accountability to black, poor citizens of Cape Town. The Gate 7 community is testament to the power of the people when they take matters into their own hands, not asking for political recognition but demanding it.